Yeah. Hey, congrats to Texas Tech. I mean, obviously they're a really good program, and they played their tails off today, and it was a great environment. It's my first time to Lubbock, so I'm sure I'll be back here a few more times. So. We're going to bounce back from this. We're not going to hang our heads. It comes when playing a tough conference. You play on the road, you're going to have some days like this, and we're not going to dwell on it. And we'll evaluate it and find ways we think we can improve. But it's onward and upward.
Question in the second row. Yep.
Coach, what was your message to the team, or just your feeling when you guys kind of bottomed out in that last 4 or 5 minutes?
Well, I mean, listen, hey, we're right there. I mean, with 5 minutes to go, it's a 5-point game. I think even right before that, we had a couple of looks to tie it from three. I think Caleb had one. I think Deli had one. And, you make one of those and maybe it changes. But, we didn't. And then, sometimes it just kind of gets away from you. It goes from 5 to 8 real quick. And then, once you're looking at, a couple minutes in an 8-point game, I mean, it gets tough, and you miss another shot. They control the possession, they get free throws. It's kind of how you can extend a lead sometimes at the end of a game. And, I mean, I'll have to go back and watch it. But, they made a couple good shots, got a couple, we tried pressing. They called a quick touch foul, which they really hadn't called all game. That's tough because we weren't trying to foul. You want to see if your press can work for you, and I think that puts it from like 7 to 9. That's tough.
What was
Tommy, just wondered, like you said, you guys were pressing, but also
struggling with that microphone, Bruce.
I don't know.
Jeez.
But tough physical game on top of the pressing and everything. Do you think the fatigue played a role on the end there?
I mean, maybe slight fatigue, but they're playing at home. We're playing on the road, and I thought our guys did a great job. We're not playing well, and we'll give our opponent some credit for that, a lot of credit for that. But we hung in there, and we gave ourselves a chance, and that's what we were hoping to do. And it just kind of got away from us at the end there a little bit, and hopefully we can learn from it. And I'm sure we're going to be in this situation again. I give our guys a lot of credit. I mean, it's a lot better to be in the situation we were and kind of, have the last few minutes not go your way than kind of, whether that happens in the first half or early in the second half and you're playing from 14 back, with a lot of time left. So I was proud of our guys for hanging with it. I thought that showed something, especially when we weren't shooting or playing well.
Was this the kind of game you figured you'd see in the Big 12?
I mean, in playing Texas Tech, I knew it was going to be a physical game, and I assumed it probably wasn't going to be a high-scoring game. And they did a good job. They did a job, and we were not going to be able to come and shoot 30-some% on the road and feel good about it and get you out rebounded by in the teens. It's just not a winning formula.
Right in the front row, 16 offensive boards.
Well, they do a good job spacing the floor and they play with great effort on those situations, and you're forcing them to shoot some tough twos, and they missed a lot of them. I mean, the plan worked, but at the end of the day, you got to get the rebound. But they also know they're going to shoot those shots, and they have two guys on the backside, and you maybe have a big coming over to help a little bit, so you end up kind of with 2 versus 1.5 on some of those rebounds. Because if you probably look out on the backside on film, they probably got a great shooter that one of your guys is a little tentative to leave, and that's how it works. I mean, that's just it's a good scheme by them, and and the way you combat it is you just got to get a little bit tougher. Our 4 men, who are good players. I think not Awaka, but Trey Townsend and Carter Bryant. I don't know. They played quite a few minutes together tonight, and they didn't have enough rebounds. So I mean, individually, hopefully they can pick that up.
Bruce, you got anything else? Well, just wondering if you thought maybe, speaking of, in a game like this, maybe perimeter-wise too, were you disappointed? Just you couldn't get more on that, the way it turned out? Or?
I don't understand what your question is.
Like Caleb, et cetera.
I mean, play better. I mean, Caleb's a good player. He's got to start playing better. He a couple games ago he had 33 points. 8 assists. 5 rebounds. Like one of the only guys ever to do it in college basketball. So he's just got to play better. I mean, he'll find his way. We're going to hang with him, and I know it's not coming easy sometimes for him, but he's a good player, and he'll play better. He'll play better for sure.
And do you think with the way Toby played in a game like this, I mean, maybe that's not a surprise the way he plays?
I mean, Tobe is a beast, and I was proud of him for the way he competed. I mean, he kept us in that game, and Henry's obviously been playing well. Didn't play good tonight. I thought in the first half, we had some shots right around the basket that we got to finish. And you know, they're probably not as easy as they look, but you know, you have the wherewithal to get the ball there. You got to find a way to finish or get fouled. And you know, they did a good job, you know, having a low hole help, and so we kind of always had a guy underneath us, and just a lot of those shots just kind of bounced out. But I think we can do better in that area.
Well, does it feel kind of strange, you know, getting used to these new Big 12 opponents, like coming into Texas Tech for a conference game?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's strange, but it's a challenge. You know, I mean, you're having a lot of teams you've never played before. You know, every game's a fresh new prep, and you know, you just don't have the, you know, familiarity. You know, when you're new in the conference, we got, you know, I guess minus, you know, the 3 teams that came with us. You know, what's that? We have 12 new scouts every time. You know, the schools that have been here for a minute, you know, they got 4. So, you know, there's just there is challenging, and you figure out how to play against people, and you figure out what works and doesn't work, and you know, hopefully we'll learn from that. We've been a program that, you know, we learn from things over time. So, you know, I'm looking forward to playing them again.
About Toby, I think that's the most you played him all year. Is anything about his role changed without Grievous for sure? I mean,
The situation was he was playing better than Henry today, and he was rebounding his butt off. It wasn't a hard decision. There was no. I didn't come into the game thinking I'm going to play him more than him. I mean, however the game plays out, you know, you're gonna adapt accordingly.
do you think? I mean, Henry's been showing signs where he's had that aggressiveness and toughness.
Henry's really been making progress, but I told Henry, you just can't assume. You know, you don't show up. You don't score 19 last game, and to show up in the gym and score 21 today. Now you're on the scouting report, and you know what you got to do. You got to fight. You got to fight, and you know, he wasn't great today, but he's trending in the right direction. And you know, obviously, there's always going to be a little bit of a regression to the mean, and now we got to figure out what his mean is. You know, I mean, what is his mean? I don't know. We're going to find out. You know, that's part of player development. We're going to find out, you know, where his sweet spot is as a player, and what we can consistently count on a nightly basis.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.